Hi, this is Jacqueline here with the Grow Program. Thank you for growing with me, kings and queens. I really don't know a lot about podcasts, a whole lot, but I do know that I tried to listen to a couple of them, and I couldn't get past the foolishness. Some music and rapping and the long commercials. That's why I don't have commercials here, because it takes away from the message. It really truly does. If you ever try to watch a TV program, you got to mentally get your mind back focused on the TV program, because the commercials and took you off somewhere else. So that's why there are no sponsors on here. I may mention somebody or something like that because I want to support all African-owned businesses. I do. So that's why we got to go and get to the word. We don't have a lot of time for silly mess. And this is 100. I keep it 100 with you. This is real, and like I told you, I'm learning too. This is a journey that we on. I'm not on this by myself. We on here too. All of us, we growing. This is a journey, a spiritual journey. I had to learn that Africans are spiritual, and I had to teach you, and tell the world that we're spiritual, and that we need to overcome with love. Carry on the message that our forefathers and foremothers left for us. The civil rights movement is a campaign of love, self-purification, looking at you, fix you, and then we're going to love on everybody else. The message is so clear. It is so clear how we can overcome, because it works for me. I'm telling you, I tell you the stuff gonna come out in the movie and in the book. Everything gonna come out. What I'm telling you that you got answers for, you got questions. Matter of fact, if you email me, I might go ahead and tell you. I don't know. But this is a journey that we're on, and it's not meant to be all sad and oppressive and depressive. See, that's why we can laugh, because we got the spirits of the ancestors. Red Fox, Mom's Mabley. Yeah, see, these people, Amos and Andy, they coming to me. I'm telling you, this ain't what just coming off the top of my head. They are coming to me. These ancestors. We have legends, kings and queens who are famous and who are not famous. That's how I'm able to tell these stories. That's how I told you about the story about the slave girl on the porch holding the Caucasian baby. I gotta fix myself too. Holding the Caucasian baby, because white makes you think you supreme, and you're not white. You Caucasian. White is a color. Black is a color. We are not black. We are not the definition of black. We are African, and we are African American, but we African first. I done disconnected it. I'm just African. That's what I am. I'm just African. So I go ahead and just call everybody else African. Y'all go ahead and say African American. I'm just checking African and on any forms. Anyway, let's get back to what we were talking about. But then I was saying, talking about the slave girl on the porch. Before I moved to the house, the lady wouldn't let me see the inside of it, because she said they were still fixing on it and stuff. And probably if I'd have saw it, I wouldn't have moved in there. And this, you will see her. She it's on Google. It was on Google. And I remember I showed at the time who was my husband. I showed my husband, the picture of her. I showed it to my daughter, my son. And yeah, she was dressed, she had a bandana wrapped around her head, and she was dressed in a long robe, like long dress. One of them old dresses from the 1800s. And she's standing there, she's holding this Caucasian baby, and it just looks so odd. She looked dead in the camera, and she looked so sad. She looked dead, and I thought at the time, I just thought that's so odd that Google would take a picture with somebody standing on the porch with a baby. A young girl, she's like about 14, and she looking dead at him. But I ain't never seen no Google take a picture of anybody, in the camera. You know, they blur out faces and stuff. Her face was not blurred out. It was just as clear as day. And I could sit with a sketch artist and sketch the picture. She was one of those pure souls that was lost, honey. She was. Because I felt her spirit in that house. Because come to find out, I had actually downloaded the picture to my phone. Do you know it disappeared? It disappeared because I would show it to you now. But my husband, my daughter, everybody seen it. And when I went back to Google to try to find it, I've been looking for it ever since. Nope, it's gone. It ain't there. It's after we moved in, I couldn't find it anymore because I went back to try to see who this girl was. But she was one of the slave girls. She was a pure soul, and she was lost in there. You know, I don't know what they done to her. They might have took her down to that old tree that I used to walk to. You know, that's probably what happened to her because I mean, she was not happy in that picture. Anyway, these African kings came to me. I mean, Mr. Maurice Wright. Mr. Maurice White. That African king, you know. I can't send this picture around. It's going around on Facebook, but these beautiful African kings, they just standing there, earth, wind, and fire, and just a display of royalty. Earth, Wind, and Fire got a song called In the Stone. And when I hear that song, it just makes me stop whatever I'm doing and listen. Because that song is teaching us about love, and these legends, Maurice White, his brother, the whole band, all of them, they had to overcome the oppression of this country to become earth, wind, and fire. Look at them. I mean, just go back. You can go to Google and it's a picture of them standing up there. I mean, looking as royal as they can be. When I found the picture, I had never seen it before. And I looked at them and I'm just staring at the picture. I can't believe they are royal, or the African kings. That's what they are. For Mr. White to overcome the oppression of this country, to rise, to take everybody with him and rise to be a legend. Wow. And just imagine, just think. Now think about you. Legends are not always famous. They're not always famous. Rise to be a legend. Live a legacy. You're not here to go through. You are born to be alive. If you got to go and listen to that song, you really are. You are born to be alive. Listen to In the Stone. Get you some uplifting music about love. Earth, Wind, and Fire was on the civil rights movement through their music, singing about love, trying to make us and make everybody else love one another. They really did. And when you stop and listen to an Earth, Wind, and Fire song, honey, you can't help but just start loving. Just thinking about love. Oh, I love so-and-so. I love, I'm just saying. That's how they made you feel, honey. You just, man, dang. I remember that one in the stone. I just think about loving them for making that. That's what I think about, I be like, ooh, in the stone. Ooh, I just, I'm going to play it when I get off here. Because, see, that's how much I love that song. In the stone, I love that. I'm telling you, these legends, honey, that's why you got these Caucasian people pitting these Africans against one another, and then they down there, who the best, well, I'm the best. Ain't nobody the best. You are all legends in your own right. Notorious B.I.G., Tupac, X, Nipsey Hussle, God, they, God bless them. And they kings, they legends. And on this earth, they were legends in their own right to lift us up as a race. But no, we tear us down as a race. As we cannot stand to see one. We just like crabs in a bucket. We cannot stand to see one get up. We got to snatch him down instead of helping him up, push him up. Push him up. Cause see, coming behind him is you. And coming behind you is somebody else. Come behind somebody else is somebody else. We got to keep pushing one another up. That's what we got to do. Look what the legend Maurice White did. He kept pushing people up, just kept pushing them up, picking them up, pushing them up, pushing them up. Look at that band, just and then showing love, just steady showing love. Look, this is what we got to do. If you didn't know Maurice White love you, honey, there's something wrong with you. He showed love. That's what he was about. That's what earth, wind, and fire represent, honey. What God created, love. Don't get me to preaching. I can do one on earth, wind, and fire just about love. And Maurice White, if you love Maurice White, if you really love Maurice White like you say you do, you will stop what you doing in the community. You will stop what you doing to your brothers and sisters. You will stop what you doing, in your community, to your people. To other races, cause see, you got to forgive that stuff. That's if I can forgive and let it go, you got to forgive that and let it go. It's time out for that. We are United States, and this world, if you ain't noticed, is a melting pot. It's folks everywhere. So, we just got to start loving. And those who did what they did in the past are going to give an account, and those who they doing, see, that's why I stopped watching the news. Because you a child abusing, you doing all the stuff you doing, doing stuff to your mom, doing stuff to people, you're going to give an account, honey, big time. Your soul will be condemned. See, they think a lake of fire, it's worse than that. It's worse than burning in hell. It's way worse than that. A condemned, tortured soul over and over and over, you done moved a love soul that you was sitting hurt a baby. You done moved the love out your heart that much that you will hurt an innocent child who didn't even ask to be here, who didn't even ask to be in whatever circumstance they happen to be in. But you gonna take it out on the baby. What do you think is gonna happen to you? You gonna take it out on the baby who ain't got nothing to do with. If you mad, take the baby and get a baby to somebody. Here, I can't do it. I can't handle it. Why do it to the baby though? Yeah, I'm serious. Why do it to the baby? Why the baby? The one the girl who won the food show, she ain't have to do that. Whatever she was going through. That's why I'm trying to reach these young people. I'm trying to reach these young people now. That's why I ask you to spread the word, because this is how we grow. We got to reach these young people, honey, because they get caught up in these setups, in these traps, these different things. The government will send you a check with your name on it, say you didn't turn around, say you weren't supposed to cash, whatever, circumstances, all these different type of setups. These drugs in the community, and they getting all these guns, guns all in the street. Everybody got a gun. Everybody quick to pull a pistol. I'm going to tell you something. You better think before you pull the pistol. You better think about what you doing to your fellow brothers and sisters. You better think about what you doing down in the community. You better think about how you acting. You better think about how you treating one another. I'm going to tell you something, because look here. See, you've been listening and studying and reading that Christianity, but honey, it's something beyond Christianity. It's beyond. It was here before Christianity. It goes way back to the creation, honey, and you will be condemned. You want to listen to this word. You really do, because see here, what done happened is evil done took over the world, honey. It done took over. But here come love, rushing like a rushing wind. It's coming in and it's finna take over. It's finna run it. It's finna, love drives out hate, just like Dr. King said. This love is finna come in like a flood and it's gonna take over. It's gonna run the world. Love is gonna run the world, not hate. See, because the evil is steady plotting. They steady plotting. They still trying to fit. Because see, the evil getting desperate now. They getting desperate. And to take over, to run it. But God. And through our beloved ancestors, honey, they are moving. They are moving. We got a civil rights movement going. And at the same time, we got a love campaign going. We getting ready to get the talented and lost, get them up out the street. We got these people who are so smart, know how to do so much, and just talented. We gonna stop taking advantage of these folks. It's not right. And it ain't right. When you go in the house and think about it, I shouldn't have done him like that. I shouldn't have done it like that. That's not right. You can't get nobody $5 to braid your hair. Don't do no stuff like that, because see, God gonna punish you for that. You hindering your own blessing. You putting a stumbling block. See, that's what you do. You take that righteousness, because see, somebody did do that right. They took all the righteousness that God said and put it in a book. Basic instructions before leaving earth. So you better take that doctrine and teaching and apply it to your life, because it does say do not put a stumbling block in front of your brother. It does say that, and it does say what for a man profit the world and lose his soul. It does say that also. Don't hinder yourself. Don't hinder your blessing by stepping over your brother and sister. That's not how we do. That's not how we do, boo. We don't do it like that. We do better. We do better. That's one thing I like about what Joe Biden said. He ready to build back better. And that's exactly what we gonna do. We gonna build back better in our community. I told you, much love to Mike. That right there, that's a brotherhood that goes back to ancient African days. Ask them about it. They'll tell you, pull Mike to the side when he ain't busy in there. Cause everybody love Mike. Come in there and buy stuff, just go in there, just see Mike. Hey, Mike, people be hanging. Mike don't mind people coming in there hanging out with him. He love us. And we supposed to love on Mike. There we go. But see, at the same time, let's build in our own community. Let's begin. See, here we go. Here comes some stimulus. We're going to stimulate the neighborhood, because we getting ready to start building up in the African community, and make our ancestors proud. Look at them in Oklahoma. Our ancestors from Oklahoma. We're going to build Black Wall Street everywhere. And I want to come and shop in everybody's store. I want to come there and buy something. I'm going to come and see what you got. Come look around. See, because I ain't got to be like when I was in there with the one man in the beauty supply store, and he, in there chasing me around with wigs, to get me out of there. I ain't gonna have to act like that around my people. I go in there and look around and take my time, because we gonna act right. I'm gonna make them act right. You ain't gotta worry about locking up your store after every customer. They gonna act right. I'm gonna make them act right. They gonna come in there. Ain't nobody gonna come in there and steal nothing, because see, they gonna have an ancestor with them. They ain't coming there to take anything. We gonna do right. I'm telling you, we gonna do right, and we can. We all right. I love my people. I do, honey. Please, I love you just as much as the legendary king, Mr. Mars White did. It's not right, but he was right. It's white. That beautiful African king. He ain't resting. He ain't sleep. The good spirits are up. He here with me, help me do this podcast, help me get this through. A whole lot of them help me. I'm trying to see. I'm waiting on the Godfather soul. I've been touched by Prince, Teddy Pendergrass, Marvin Gaye, Tupac. I've been touched by a lot of them, honey. I've been touched by some legends who ain't famous. Also, I've told some stories and told about some people, but look here. This ain't about no voodoo, black magic, and witchcraft. This is African spirituality. This ain't about sitting here and telling the spirit, well, let me see you make that glass move. Let me see you do that. I don't delve off in foolishness with the beloved, And that's why I call them the beloved. That's what they are. They are the beloved ancestors. When you in church and you dancing around and you get the praise break and and you really feeling, you ain't up there clowning, but you really feeling it. That's your ancestors. That's the spirit of the ancestors. Cause see, that's what they used to do. They used to dance to God. They used to dance and thank the Lord for their blessing. Thank you, God, for what that's what they did. And then they incorporated some Christianity rules and all this other stuff. That's where you're messing up at. Cause see, you can't follow all these rules and still be, live your life. It's impossible, to live up under. And then on top of that, you making $2,000 at work, and then you supposed to give this man 10% of that every month. Who do that? Where they do that at? Where they do that at? You ain't nobody got no 10% to get nobody. The way times is struggling and hard. Ain't nobody got no money to just hand off like that. That's a bill. That's a car note. That's part of rent. That's something for baby shoes. Baby need a pair of shoes. We got to work it out. We do. We got to go work it out. We got to go work these jobs, honey. Ain't got no money to be donating and giving away. Ask my dad. He'll tell you, serious. You better work it out. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom. We going to do it all over the world. We going to rise kings and queens. We going to come out with substance. We going to begin to build in our community, begin to build back better. Go ahead and buy that store down that street you've been looking at. Buy that house and fix it up. Get the talented and lost and put them in there and let them fix it up for you and let them live in there while you fix it up. And in the meantime, I'll be working on their mind. Tell them, look, you see you got a house. Now you're working on something. Let's go ahead and go and get off these drugs. We done with that lifestyle. See, let them listen to that episode, The Talented and Lost. Because see, you greatness. You ain't here to go through. It's all in your mind. Mind over anything. Seriously, mind over anything. You ask your uncle. Uncle Joe, you said when you get that car, when you put your mind to it, you're gonna go ahead and fix that car. And he did. He fixed that car because he said, I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I'm going to put my mind to it. Go ahead and find what I need to find. Go and get this part and get that part. Because see, Uncle Joe just been stalling. He didn't want to do it. But he knew how to do it. And we all know how to do it. We know how to get off anything. Don't let nothing control you. That includes food. Don't let food control you. Don't let no alcohol control you. Don't let no cigarettes control you. Don't let nobody control you. You ain't really here to be in control. You in control. Don't let nobody push your buttons. You in control of your buttons. Those are your buttons. Keep them put up. Look, let me tell you a funny story. My grandbaby, when he was little, about a year old, he'd like to go hug my sister. But he didn't know that she had this life alert thing. But he would push her button, every time he would go hug and we didn't know. And the life alert system started going off every time after he hugged. But then we realized he would go push her button when he give her a hug. And so, but when he started coming to give her a hug, she started putting the button up. Keep your buttons put up. Don't let nobody push your buttons and let you push that set it off button and let you go there. Honey. You control you. Because in the end, that's all you're going to control anyway. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom all over the world. God bless you, kings and queens. Let's rise.